This is Peggy Anne Salz. This is App Talks. And true to the name, we are talking with people who are in the app industry. Either they're shaping it or they are moving it forward, or in this case, I think they are, in the case of my guest here, they are really challenged by it, but enthused. I have Levanya Sharma, and you are Performance Marketing Manager at Babbel. First of all, Babbel, awesome language learning app, and a great community. But I'll let you start and tell me a little bit more about it from your perspective.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here today, actually. If I talk about Babbel, it's an online language learning platform. We have this idea to create mutual understanding through language, through 14 different languages that we've been offering in multiple regions, not just like Europe, North America, or Latin America, but all around the world wherever we can show our presence. With Babbel, I get to work as a performance marketing manager, working on different and important user acquisition channels like Apple Search Ads or Universal App Campaigns, collaborating with different teams to work on it.
We made it through this year. What was some of, wow, yes. We made it through this year. She's always going, yep, oh well, made it through. But what was one thing that you're looking back and saying, boy, nailed it there. That was a good, I wouldn't say guess, there are no guesses in performance marketing, but that was a good way to fuel UA. I didn't just get numbers, I got quality. This was a good move in 2024. What worked? What was it that you can say? Didn't just nail it, but actually exceeded even your expectations?
That's actually a good question, I would say. So looking back at the year, I would say doing lots of tests that I've been doing, and especially utilizing the AI, automation solutions over there in optimizing these campaigns, bringing those numbers and the KPIs that we have.
It augmented your abilities.
It definitely did, and actually also helped to reduce quite a lot of manual workload. Because I get to work on the global team where I'm handling so many markets and on different channels. So it actually helps a lot, when it reduces the workload for me.
I mean, performance marketing has shifted. It's not just about the channels, but I will ask you about some of the channels because there are still some gems. I mean, I remember early on telling people, you know what's really cool is always the blue ocean. So when everyone's going there, you go there. And for some people, that was things like Reddit, right? Went really well. I mean, look at that. I saw that coming because we are part of a community and getting in there and having a voice is important. But that's just one channel that may or may not have been interesting for you. What were the other ones?
It's a nice thing that we have an in-house marketing team. So we collaborate with lots of different channels and the teams. So it's actually really fun. But the ones that have always kept my focus, especially when it comes to the world of apps, it's the Google app campaigns, the networks over there, and especially the Apple Search Ads. It's
the reach. I mean, it is where you need to be.
Yes, so I get to work with them, and there's lots of interesting things. There are lots of challenges, I would say. We have to maintain the user privacy, and we get a lot of model data. Industry has changed quite a lot when you say how far we all have come along when it comes to the world of marketing. And one of the main reasons is this user privacy. These days, we are very focused on it. But while being focused, we need to also find this balance to, actually work with these channels and bring in maybe the revenue, I would say, that every company is looking for, and just making sure we've been optimized and customized in a way that helps everyone around, not just us, but the users as well.
So you have to maybe do more with less, but that might be at the center of innovation. Some people are even coming up with their own metrics. You blend them together. What was one I heard was revenue per retained user is something that one company measures, right? So where did you use this to inspire you to do your job better in performance marketing?
Mostly, I would say, the data-driven decision that I've been able to take. There are different bidding strategies that I got to work with and optimize towards them and work towards them. There's so many different approaches that I had to try on and on, like over the year. But actually, was at the end came to a lot of success.
So in retargeting, using AI, You said you had to try things over and over again.
Yes.
I hear that as well. So is there something that you can say now is like off your list or should be off the performance marketer list? Like, don't try it, don't waste your time, move on, do something more interesting. Or it's just, just didn't deliver.
I wouldn't say it because every market is very different. Every company is very different. So the things that actually maybe worked out for us or might not have worked out for us could work for someone else. So the setup comes out so differently and is so vast that everyone has to keep trying to find that sweet spot, figure out that balance, that this thing is going to work for us and not. So testing is the main thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got, you really need to test it out with different approaches and adapt to the users, the audience that you have, different segments, and even the different markets. You can find lots of challenges. Maybe your competitors are growing quite a lot in some market and you are not able to do that well. So there are those scenarios as well. So you really need to figure that out with these different tests. And then at the end, maybe reach to that point that this didn't work for us. Maybe we can drop it down.
It's a lot about focus. It's also a balance because I think about your job. I mean, it has evolved so much because it's not just filling the funnel through the typical channels, but then there's room for experimentation if you have it. Where would you like to be experimenting next year?
These customized custom product pages that we get to work. So if you open your iPhone, your Android cell phones, you see different screenshots for every application, right, in the App Store or the Play Store. So that's where we can try to reach different audience. So at different levels as well. When it's a language
the first
learning
window. It has to be the one that gets me in.
So in order to reach that, to be there on that creative level and collaborating with our creative team that we have and the ASO principal as well. So over there, there's a lot to test, Maybe I'm an expat here living in Berlin in Germany, and definitely English is not my native language. It's my second language, but I definitely don't know German. So I could be one of those, users or audience who doesn't know German but knows English and might be interested in learning German. So to figure that balance out with the help of those creatives is something that I'm really looking forward to, test out more and more.
Because creatives are the way that you address your audience. It is the way you segment. It's like how I approach someone and what resonates. That gives me some of the missing data that I miss so much, user level data. Those were the days. Yes,
that's definitely was the days. And I guess a fun topic to actually work with, to be honest. This is the only fun part. Everything is technical and numbers everywhere.
Creative is cool.
So creative is fun.
Creative is fun. And if you do it, some people say you can do it without human creativity, but I think it's cooler when it's like human creativity and AI efficiency and just that occasional tap on the shoulder of like, did you think of this? Because serendipity matters in a saturated market, right?
True.
Serendipity is very cool. And it is saturated and you're competing with a lot of different other interests and hobbies and other things. So looking to that, what is it that you're depending on the channel to grab the attention and keep the attention? Because it's one thing to fill the funnel. That's what performance marketing is. But, more and more you're about sustainable growth as well. You have to get and keep valuable users who might come in through the creative. But you have to be attention grabbing and you have to keep that conversation going. What does that look like in performance marketing? Because that's not the job of the channel. That's the job of the combination of all the channels. Yeah,
that's true. That's a good thing that we collaborate so much with different channels and the teams together as an in-house team, not just here as the Berlin team, but even get to work with the America team. To find that balance, we're more focused towards CLV in future, but we are trying to be more efficient as well. So we are also like in this phase of testing different things out to figure it out. What exactly would it be for us and how these collaborations are going to impact us in this way. I would say, looking back the entire year that we had and this new year strategy that we've been working towards, this is more and more about testing, having this UA, reaching the UA that we're looking for and the different matrices, but just keep focusing on this collaboration part.
And you've had some time to perfect that. I mean, 16 years is just being here is like, yay, you made
Yes,
it. Here you are. And you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot of what doesn't work, but you've also learned like what does work and where you're going to be doubling down in some ideas. I mean, we talked about channels, but it's also a strategy. It's a very strategic position. 16 years. How has your strategy evolved, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, that's a great thing that it's been 16 years, and we're proud to say actually we have achieved more than 16 million users worldwide. So that was a proud thing to happen.
Yeah.
Over the years, we have marketed this part as well, that we work on a very extensive research and the techniques, scientific techniques that have actually worked out. We, over the years, like we started to customize the courses that we make. The courses we have created, they have been done by experts, the educators, proper teachers, who understand what should be done and shouldn't be. We do so many research and reviews with our users, figuring it out, like these are the courses that we have done, how do you feel about them, and then perfecting them, figuring those, having that balance, and maybe this way sets us apart from different competitors that we have in the market, that we are more focused on the grammar part as well. We're just not looking to make you learn just few phrases. We are looking forward in a way to make sure that you can learn the language, speak it one day, be proud to speak. You're able to, talk to people. So that's one of the goals. So over the years, we kept doing that and just, bringing more focus on the grammatical part so that it's really structured for everyone and more thorough for people.
And that's a differentiator because there's lots of like cool, fun things you can do. You're in contact a lot with the users. What is something from them that has inspired you in what you do? Because if we're doing marketing properly, we listen to the audience. We know our audience, we listen to the audience, but we let that sort of feedback loop impact how we go out and get more of them. So what have you learned that's surprising for you?
We're trying to build this ecosystem where we have everything from the users. So when users say that they want to be focused and they're looking to actually get the worth of the money they have spent with us. So we've been trying and working in this way to have not just these technical or the structured part, but having maybe podcasts, magazines, games. So have like all of it. So this way it helps them to actually learn it, figure it out. You might not have the time, you can just listen to a podcast and figure out so many pronunciations. So there are so many different things. So we took those feedback that we got from the users, and they were quite surprising because, at least for me, I would say, because as a, I think, learner, I was more focused on the structure part, not on that much on the fun parts, but coming and working with Babbel, that I found these parts as well, and I'm like, that actually makes sense, that helps
because
a lot.
It enhances the experience. You're actually selling an education experience. If it's just straight education, I can do it the old way too, right?
This also actually helps to make and build a habit. That you're not looking to learn something, but the next day you can actually just listen to a podcast or play a game, something like that, and have that integration.
Talking about that brings me to emerging channels in how you also advertise and market to people. And I'm very excited about audio ads. I'm pretty interested also in video coming more into the app. How are you using and seeing emerging channels to enhance the marketing, but also the experience around marketing? Because advertising is an experience.
Yes, definitely.
Call it experiential advertising, right?
Yeah, definitely. I say, so people that, or the users that we have on the application, we test out different strategies in a way, reaching out with different messages to them. Maybe the CRM team would drop the email, I think during the April time, for the 1st of April, the April Fool thing, we try to make that sort of a bit, and just creating a sort of making them April Fool for that day, making it a little bit fun and reaching out, and we made it more personalized on that level, dropping them not just the email, and then getting their attention on the app as well. So there are some of these things that we've been trying. When I talk about these videos, these days you're trying to get everyone's attention as quickly as possible, because everyone has come down to these such short videos. there was a time when like, I think we had really, really long videos
Yeah,
in
like
the world
60
of advertising.
seconds was,
Yes.
now it's like, no, 20, no, 10,
Yes.
5, 4, yeah,
Yes,
get
so
it.
it is coming down to this level. So we're
Yes.
trying to, grab that attention, hold it throughout that video, and just, not just, and keep it fun for them, that they actually would be interested and want to see that.
Well, you have some good start point for that, because the starting point for that is the content, and you're going to have
Yes.
podcasts, and you'll have videos, and you'll have other kind of, I mean, language is an experience. You can take it in all
Yes.
sorts of directions. It would be worse if you were a different type of app, but you're so central that if you do this, you're like my experience hub. So
Definitely.
I can get a lot from that. Where does the line between, because I'm thinking about advertising it,
Yes.
advertorial and branded content.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like really cool if you do this right. It's not just you, but it's different ecosystem partners. I can't think of the brands right now that would fit in there, but you can think of probably lifestyle brands or cooking brands. I mean, if I love the language, I probably
Yes.
want to cook it, right?
Yes.
And they can all get involved. So you can be more of a keystone,
Definitely.
right? Where's that go with bringing that in? Because the advertising,
Yeah.
there's some admon in there can be very interesting.
This is one of the best that we have tried, and different actually videos we've been using for all different channels, and we actually use our own teams.
Okay.
To act also in some of the videos. So I have this wonderful team member who also works with the app team, and he knows the French language.
Okay.
And so we were doing one of these videos, and it was in the French, and I saw his video, and I was like, that's really cool. He comes up, he talks, and
Yeah.
make jokes, cracks things, and it just looks seamless. Or like sometimes we
Yeah.
create these videos where people are just cooking and talking, conversing in that, like passing this or that,
Yeah.
or people who during this travel season, the summertime, everyone is trying to travel and everything.
Yeah.
So creating those videos and bits around those where people are talking about it. So those sort of phrases, people passing on to each other and using those sort of an experience. And additionally, we take different, we try to create these different videos that I've found where there would be one specific word that you can like maybe put it in English. And then we have people from different nationalities who know different languages.
Yeah.
They're just all sitting in office, and we're just, creating a video with them.
Okay, cool.
And they would
Yeah.
tell that what that word would actually be in their language.
Okay.
And sometimes really fun. Like sometimes it could sound very funny. It could be very serious. It could be a really long word when it
If
comes
it's
to German.
German.
So yes, yeah.
Yes.
If it's German, it's a really long word. But for a different one, it could
Yeah.
be fun or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
like these sort of bits are actually quite helpful.
So let's imagine we're together next year. I would hope so, because it'd be totally fun, Lavanya. I would love it. And you come back and you say, okay, here's what I did. Here was the high point of 2025. What do you think you want to be telling me?
It'll be really nice to actually come back again next year, and would be wonderful to talk to you. I would
thank you.
say.
Thank you.
In a very short time, you have been very charming. But for the entire year, I think maybe tested out so many different creatives that actually I'm always interested in. Figuring that balance
Okay.
and about them, and that have actually been very successful while utilizing these AI solutions that we have and make them successful, because we are just in the testing phase right now. I've been testing a lot of in different markets, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I always don't get the desired results I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, maybe able to do that and actually be more efficient. We're trying to do that. So that's one of our goal for the next year as a strategy, and it'll be really nice to be able to achieve that.
I like that, to be emotive and efficient,
Yes.
that balance. I wish you luck in that, and absolutely, I also want to see you next year if we can do that. And it's been charming speaking with you as well, and a great journey, and thanks for sharing with me as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Actually, it was fun to talk to you.